Hello, this is Russell from
Tomes of Evil.
and you're listening To Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast.
Hi, Jessica.
Who the hell are you?
The woman who's going to save your life.
Hello, Spider Babies! Welcome back. It's To Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. We're your hosts, Seren and Ray.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks, Seren, but we are on course for another awesome discussion. This time, a classic issue. But of course, we are also on YouTube as well. There are we have visuals, so if you happen to have that as your preferred platform, welcome. We are your hosts, yes, as Seren said, Seren and Ray, and we'll be covering Spider-Woman Volume 1, Issue 3.
The Peril of Brother Grimm.
Yes, one of my favorite, I should say at this stage, Seren character. But no spoilers. Spoilers. There's two of them.
I'm just saying. Well, I could say things about that, but I won't.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know why we want to spoil. It's a 40-something-year-old comic, but
We're very polite. But Seren, how are you? It's been yonks. Been doing well. Work's been busy, no doubt.
I've been doing good. Been obsessing over Critical Role still. Like that's like my fixation right now. However, we do have some just news. After all the news we had last time, we are getting a trade paperback of the entire Dennis Hallam / Hopeless and Javier Rodriguez run.
Beauty.
It does exclude the Spider-Woman crossover, so it's not quite an omnibus, but it's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it's good, and
in my opinion.
Yeah, and I kind of understand why they do it, because those issues are intrinsic to the Spider-Women crossover. So, if it's in there, Saren, I guess it would make little sense if you don't have the other issues. But for completionists, I also understand that it might be a bit annoying not having them in there. I mean, they're just a few issues to cap off the whole run from Dennis Hopeless Hallam.
Yeah. So, but at least it's all in one book now. So that is good.
Silly question.
And then in 20 years we'll probably get a masterwork that includes it.
Well,
so,
hopefully we'll get an omnibus of maybe the Dennis Hopeless Hallam run and the Pacheco run.
I would love a Pacheco run omnibus. What a great run. Anyway, I would love omnibuses of them all. The fact that this one, at least we're getting masterworks of it, but I feel like also as the original Spider-Woman run of 50 issues, you should get an omnibus, whatever.
Yes.
Excuse me, I have hiccups. But I could also see it being, 50 issues is a lot for an omnibus, I think. So that would be a monster.
It would be a big one. But they have done kind of that. I've got the Submariner omnibus, and that's I think 45 issues, so it's pretty close. It's a big chunkoid omni.
Yeah, but it's like a weapon. You could drop it from a second story window onto someone's head and kill them with it.
Exactly.
Not that I would recommend doing that, anyone. Don't do that. I am currently very, very bloodthirsty today.
Yes.
Other news.
Yes.
I went to our little store that we have on whatever the website is.
Yep.
And I got myself another T-shirt because I shrunk the first one you sent me.
Oh no!
I did. I shrunk it real bad.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
So I donated it. So there's going to be hopefully some kid running around with a Spider-Woman podcast shirt on.
Very astute, Saren. So that's out there in the wilderness, and hopefully
it is
spread around.
So I got myself a new one. It's very soft.
Yes.
and I got a size up, so if I do shrink it, I'll still be able to wear it.
Did you get it?
And then I got the hoodie.
Yes. What colors? Let me guess. Red or?
I got the red
Yeah.
hoodie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at my hoodies and I go, I have an awful lot of black and gray hoodies. Like, and I only have like 2 hoodies that are like bright colors. I have one that's like a bright blue
Yeah.
one that says Wawa on it, and then I've got another one that's like pink and like a gray.
Okay. Well, you can.
But the pink makes it stand out. So it's like a tie-dyed one. So I was like, okay, I need something a little brighter to brighten up my hoodie selection because you can never have enough hoodies, guys.
Yeah, you can rock red.
So
No, for sure. Like, that's gonna
yeah.
be yeah.
And it looks really good. Like it looks really good on the hoodie.
Nice.
And I got the standard hoodie. I didn't get any of the fancy ones, but it's a really nice hoodie, despite the
Yep, nice and warm.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't put it on yet. I just got it today, actually.
Just today.
So,
Awesome.
Yep, just today. So it's an excellent hoodie, and it is very nice, and I like it a lot. So I will wear it a lot.
Yes.
So it will be.
Spread the word. Use yourself as a human billboard, or a whatever. Yeah, that's
Critical Role and like weird hoodies I've got. Although the one I have on right now, you guys obviously can't see it because I don't have a camera. But it's like a little mushroom person. And it's very cute, and they're holding a strawberry and like cuddling a strawberry.
Mario?
I usually don't fall for Instagram ads,
Okay.
but I saw this one from Hot Topic, and I was like, oh, that's really
Okay. So
cute.
it's not a mushroom from Super Mario Brothers.
No, it's just a cute little fairy mushroom person, and then I got like a little snail with a hat.
Why not?
On the sleeve, and a fairy frog, and a hedgehog. It does not look like Sonic.
Oh, okay. Well, again,
it's super cute. It's a cute hoodie. You've probably seen the ad.
I am going to keep my eyes out for that now. A hedgehog, a mushroom, a frog.
Yeah, the main picture on the chest is a little
and a snail.
It's just a little mushroom person, and I'll send it to you.
Cool.
It's very cute. It's really cute. I was like,
yes, right.
It was from Hot Topic.
Yes. Well, I mean, Spider Babies, go check it out as well. And while you're at it,
has nothing to do with Spider Woman.
Exactly. But while you're at it, please check out the T Public store as well, and join Seren in sprucing your wares and your.
Yeah, actually, the T-shirt I got this time, I did splurge a little bit on the T-shirt. I got the upgraded material, and it's super soft.
Okay.
Guys.
Yeah.
I got it's like a red heather. And it is like super, super soft. I'm probably going to shrink it because I do all the time whenever I do it, but it's nice and long. So if I do shrink it,
okay, then it'll kind of fit into. I'm getting visions of Marty McFly in Back to the Future 2 when the jacket kind of conforms to his size. I don't know if you've.
No, but it's that super. It's really soft. It's really great. So totally worth upgrading to the super soft.
Excellent.
Like heather colored.
You heard it from one of the hosts here. Then it's a recommend for just upgrading a little bit more to get that better fabric. And yeah, again, the link will be in the show notes. And again, go check it out. It's mainly just the logo to our show, Seren, at the moment.
Yes.
But, who knows? We might have more.
You can get mugs. Actually, I think we need to add a mouse pad because I need a mouse pad.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I need one as well. I'm using this old. Australia one I got from the $2 shop. So
I threw my old one out. I had one from Mists of Pandaria from World of Warcraft. That's how old it was. That campaign's like 10 years old or more.
Okay. Well,
and I'm like, okay, like the rubber on the back was finally starting to disintegrate, and I was like, okay, 10 years was a really good length of time for a mouse pad.
That's a good return of investment there.
I thought so. I finally got rid of it, and I haven't replaced it. I meant to replace it with a Critical Role or the Spider Woman game mat, and both of those were discontinued by the time I got around to it. I was very upset about it.
Well, to know who is to fear her, mousepad. I'll get one as well. And again, there you go. We'll add it to the list. I'm sure it's easy enough to add that to our shop.
Oh, I have a question for you. Speaking of games and such, how has Marvel Champions been for you?
Have you played it yet? I haven't got it yet. The guy's sending it over. I can't wait. I went kind of all out because he's going overseas, so he was selling his whole set, and he's got like 23 expansion packs or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and and it includes the champions and Seren. I've gone all out, and it's gone. It's got the one with Spider Woman, so the Red Skull
Yeah,
one.
the Red Skull one with Spider Woman and Hawkeye.
Yes.
And here's the thing, I have to give it to Marvel Teams. I know I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. She is at least an A tier character in that game. I've heard she's even better with new expansions and some of the things they've added since then. They really put their research into her, and they were like, Spider Woman's a good character.
I can't wait to play it. So yeah, just waiting. Should be coming maybe in the next couple of weeks or so. But I've got to get acquainted with the game first, and then definitely will try Jessica Drew's player.
Yeah, she's really good, and she apparently with how her deck is designed, like you could like change her up. You can get some pretty wild and crazy OP builds with her. Apparently,
awesome.
If anyone of our listeners have played the Champions game, I have it. I haven't really played it yet, but if you have the game and played it and have played as Jess, let us know what you think.
Please do.
We'd love to hear
That's a great idea. Just let us know. Yeah, I mean, just it's another aspect, I guess, of this podcast, Seren. Not only the comics, but TV, film, and your games as well. Love to do a deep dive into Spider Woman in games. That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh man, we can. That means I would have to re-download a Future Fight.
Yeah.
That game keeps changing too much for my liking, though. Speaking of games as well, there is a Marvel United Kickstarter going on. It's their season 3. They've raised a fuck ton of money. Jess was available in the first round, actually, as a unlock feature. So I actually do have it. I did buy into the last X-Men round, only so that I could get access to the first round, because I missed the first round.
Sorry, Seren, what game is this?
It's called Marvel United.
Okay. No, I've not heard of it.
And there's like 2 days left on the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
So I bought into the X-Men one. We all know I'm not the biggest X-Men fan. But I bought into the X-Men one so I could get the Fantastic Four and so that I could get the previous Kickstarter sets. Except for the core set, which was available like in Walmart. So I got the box lunched one because that had the Wasp, and the Walmart version has Venom as one of the allies. So I went with the one that had Wasp. So I have that, and I have those sets. But now they have a season 3. In season 3, you've got your Secret Invasion. So I'm wondering if they kind of worked Jess's link to Veronica in there. And they've got Civil War. And then they got War of Kings, which is my Inhumans family, which I was resisting until War of Kings came out, and then I went off.
Well, it sounds like it's leaning into the comics, because it could have gone into the MCU.
It's a little bit of both, because they just released the pet set that has Jeff the Landshark on it.
Oh, okay.
And Chewie's on it, but they call it Chewie Goose. So it's a little 6 to 1, half dozen of the other, but it comes with minis. So if you're like someone who likes games with minis and you like to paint minis, you don't have to paint the minis. All the minis are color coded with good guys, bad guys, and people in between. But as soon as I saw the War of Kings, I went, well, gotta get that. Also, War of Kings is a great comic book series, so you should just
I missed that. I should read it though, but yeah. Okay.
It is excellent.
Well, I've learned something here. Marvel United on Kickstarter. I'll try to get. We'll scrounge around a link for everyone as well, and
yep. The biggest buy-in, if you pledge like $460, you get everything, including the Fing Fang Foom bad guy, which I was not about to pledge into because it had a lot of other expansions I didn't want. But it has everything. So it's like $460 for like 8 different. Like the core set for the multiverse core set, and then like 8 different expansions. It's insane.
Wow.
Like it's a really thought out game, and all the expansions you have, like I haven't played it yet, but like you have your core set, then you have all the expansions, so then like it just expands on everything. So it's really good.
That's so cool. That sounds really cool. I definitely got to check it out. There's only you mentioned only a couple of days left though, so
yeah, and but Jess was part of the first expansion, which actually kind of floored me, believe it or not. So I was like, well, I want her, so I'm gonna buy into the pack to get her.
Nice. Yeah, why not? Sounds good. Right? We've got Fantastic Four as well. They're always fun.
Yeah, there's a Fantastic Four set, and then what was funny is Fantastic Four was available for the X-Men Kickstarter, and then they decided to bring in Galactus for this one. They're like, well, why didn't you let us, for people who didn't opt into Fantastic Four last time, can you let us opt into them this time, since Galactus is technically their villain, and they did.
Yeah, good, great. They listened,
Yeah,
which is really good. You not to get that feedback.
yeah, and I've been getting like 7 Kickstarter updates a day
Oh.
since I pledged, and I'm like, oh my god, stop.
Do you like browse Kickstarter a lot, Seren? Because I mean, no, okay.
No.
So how did you come across?
I do not. I only do Kickstarters that like people I might follow on the interwebs do.
Okay.
So if I see like Dispel Dice recently did one, I'll probably check it out. Or like there was a World of Darkness one for Werewolf the Apocalypse I did like 6 years ago. And I still finding a werewolf group is harder than finding a D&D. But anyway.
Yeah, anyway, so sounds good. We'll put some info in the show notes for everyone. Just the last bit of bad news. I mean, Seren, I sent you a message, and just an update in case you haven't seen your inbox. I dropped it off in Discord. Just this morning. Oh, I think you responded.
Oh yes, I see it now. Yes, I totally gave you a swear bomb when I saw it. Yes, okay, I did see it.
But finally got those badges out, so they'll be making their way to the competition winners back late last year, and of course one for Seren. Why not? Of course.
Yes, I will put it on my lanyards for when I go to Comic Con.
Yeah. So
I actually need to sort my Comic Con badges. I've got like 8 years of Comic Con badges hanging on my wall, and I'm like, those need to be distributed more evenly across the wall instead of on one.
Oh, you should. I love badges. They're good. This one's a big one, so you can put it front and center, Seren. You can, it'd be the nucleus to the atom or whatever.
How? I don't know. I'm not that smart. How big would you say it is?
It is 75 mils or something like that. So 7.5 centimeters. So it's
7.5 cm to inches because we're backwater here. Oh, that's a big pin. 2.9, 3, almost like a 3-inch pin.
Big pin. It is, yeah. It's like pin. It's like one year. I don't know. You use
that's a book bag pin.
Yes, exactly. So
that'll go on my Comic Con backpack that I use every year. That I got for $15 at Walmart, and I'm kicking myself for not getting a second.
Ah, yes, of course. But yeah, so again, apologies for the delay, but finally got there. Yes.
Yeah, I got distracted by Champions and Marvel United.
Oh no, yeah, Champion, yeah, exactly. I mean Champions too. No, I'm talking about the apologies for sending the badges out. I mean that took a while.
Dude, it's expensive. It's coming from Australia. That's like no big deal.
From the mud ball that is down under. So anyway, Seren, we are here for a classic run review.
We are.
This is a good one. Let me so again for YouTube viewers, you are privy to the comic book. So can you see that, Seren? Is that up? Okay, excellent. And yes,
oh no, I just see our logo. I don't see our.
Sorry, my fault. Again, it's just working out the kinks here.
There
we go.
Well, there's a black. Got it. We're here. Yeah.
So this would be cool. So for those, again, the YouTube video will be out the same time as a podcast. So if you want to go check out the visuals that Seren and I are referring to, please jump over there. But yes, Seren, what do we have on the platter this episode?
So today is Spider-Woman Volume 1, Number 3, The Peril of Brother Grimm. Nice and ominous. Release date was March 7th, 1978. Cover date of June 1978. Our writers are Marv Wolfman, penciler Carmine Infantino, inkers Tony DeZuniga, colorist Michele Wolfman. I'm assuming is Marv's wife.
Okay.
Related to Marv some way, maybe. People who might know better, let us know. Letterer is Joe Genovese, and editor is Marv
The
Wolfman.
colors are quite nice, actually. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the colors on this issue were really issue were really good.
Yes, available in floppy format, of course, on Marvel Unlimited, as well as you can actually buy it if you want on the Marvel app or on the Kindle/Comixology one. It's in the Marvel Masterworks edition, still in the volume 1, which I believe Seren goes up to issue 9. Is that correct?
Wait, say that again?
I think volume 1 of the Marvel Masterworks goes up to issue 9 as well, doesn't it? Plus,
I think it's 8.
Okay, well, still within that.
Yeah,
within that range, and it's in the long out of print essential collection. It's one of the few Seren floppies of volume 1 that I don't have, so I'm still scouring place to find it.
This issue?
Yeah.
I think I have it. I'm gonna have to dig. I'm pretty sure I have this.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm actually double checking the Marvel Masterworks, yo. So hopping over to the evil bad guy.
Yeah.
So Marvel Masterworks. It 1 to 8.
1 to 8. Ah, well done, Seren. You're gonna mind like a steel trap.
Yep. It's Marvel Spotlight 32, Marvel 2-in-1 29 to 33, and Spider-Woman 1978 1 to 8.
Yeah, nice. So this is well within that collection. And for listeners that don't or haven't listened before, Seren and I will go through a synopsis provided by Wiki this time, and then we'll just discuss some notes, I guess. And we have some listener feedback, and we'll cap it off with a spider score. So dun 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 dun.
Eventually, we'll have tinfoil hats.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the fact that I don't like a certain artist, I'd be reading a certain Avengers series. However,
oh yes,
not a fan.
No, well, that's ending soon, hopefully. So
I am not surprised. If they had a different artist, it probably would have lasted longer. I'm not bitter. Anyway, let's get into this awesome issue of comics because it was really good.
Cool.
It was a lot of information.
It was.
Courtesy of our friends at the Wiki.
Thank you, Uncle Wiki.
Uncle Wiki. I find that very interesting. Why is that so funny?
What do you know?
Uncle Wiki.
Uncle Wiki.
Hi, Uncle Wiki. I'm sorry.
Sounds a weird name.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna laugh while I talk about this. Maybe I will. Los Angeles, California, and a pair of costume twins called the Brother Grimm are terrorizing a stage production of Hansel and Gretel and rob the audience of their valuables. Later, they terrorize the home of Congressman James T. Wyatt, where they try to blackmail the congressman out of $50,000. When Wyatt complied, he was locked in a safe to die. Meanwhile, Jessica Drew and her friend Magnus arrive in Los Angeles, where Jessica begins looking for a job and lodgings, as well as continuing her search for her father. The two of them end up taking rooms with Priscilla Dolly, an eccentric landlady who has 2 sons named Jacob and William. Interesting. With Magnus's help, Jessica finds out that her father is dead and visits his grave. She gets upset at Magnus, figuring that he manipulated her like the High Evolutionary and Hydra before him. However, Magnus advises her that he only wishes to help her to learn the truth behind her father's death. That night, as Spider-Woman just breaks into police headquarters to learn more about her father's death, finding the file, she suddenly becomes interested in the loud conversation happening in the next office. Listening, she overhears James Wyatt giving a statement to the police. Dismissing this as none of her business, Jessica heads home with the file on her father. Reading it with Magnus, Jessica learns that her father worked for a company called Pyrotechnics and that he had ties with the congressman. As she considers paying the congressman a visit, her thoughts are interrupted when she overhears Jacob and William Dolly arguing with each other. However, their spat is quickly dispelled by their mother, Priscilla, who wishes things could be like they were before their father died. Later, Jessica goes out as Spider-Woman and confronts the congressman at his office looking for answers. The senator tries to shoot her, but she disarms him with a venom blast. As she tries to get answers out of him, they are interrupted by Brother Grimm, who bursts into the room. As it turns out, Wyatt gave Brother Grimm counterfeit money the night before, and now he has come to demand.
When Spider-Woman tries to learn who Brother Grimm is, the villain attacks her. While they fight, Congressman Wyatt calls the authorities. Defeating Brother Grimm, Spider-Woman flees the scene when she hears police sirens approaching, leaving Brother Grimm for the cops, telling Wyatt that she will be back. When the authorities arrive on the scene, the Congressman fears that Spider-Woman could ruin him if news got out that he was handing out counterfeit money, and begins plotting to silence her. Outside, Spider-Woman watches as the officers take Brother Grimm into custody. Deciding that she hit a dead end here, she decides to investigate the only other lead she has, Pyrotechnics Incorporated. When the police get Brother Grimm to the station for questioning, he refuses to talk. On her way back to her apartment, Spider-Woman is once more attacked by Brother Grimm. The fact that he is not in police custody and that he has an entirely different demeanour confuses her. She tries to subdue him, but Brother Grimm manages to escape and warns her to stay out of his business in the future. Returning to her apartment, she tells Magnus that she will investigate pyrotechnics tomorrow. That's when they hear a radio report about Brother Grimm breaking out of jail. To her surprise, his escape happened an hour after her last encounter with him, leaving her to wonder what is going on. So,
what's going on?
You can imagine, Seren, back in the day, this would have been slightly confusing. But, but we all know.
It's still slightly confusing. Truth be told, as I'm going through the synopsis, I'm sitting here thinking, if this comic was done now, it would have ended where I had ended my part of the synopsis.
Yes. It
was very long.
And thank you, Wiki. Very, very long there. Hopefully everyone is still with us. But yeah, it's...
This was one of the better written Wiki synopsises, by the way. I have to say, whoever wrote this one, this was really good.
It is. It's without getting into sentence by sentence of what happened. It did really well. And spoilers, I did enjoy this issue, so I think they did a decent job. Sarah, overall impressions, what did you make of issue 3?
It's definitely one of those introductory issues, so it kind of dragged for me a little bit. I thought it was a little long. Like it didn't have to be as long as it was, but they had a lot of ground to cover. Yep. And they covered it very well. I forgot how creepy that Priscilla Dolly is with her room full of fucking dolls.
Yes. Very horror esque.
Yeah. We're getting into Spider-Woman's horror thing, guys. That said, though, I liked it. Other than I felt it was a little long.
Yeah.
And also, overall, I guess in that start there with Jess when we first see her in Magnus, how quick she is to anger, which is pretty consistent through a lot of Jess's stories, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes. No. Good point. True. Look, I enjoyed it as well. I think I was riding the wave of just having Brother Grimm in it. I mean, it's just a fun character. One of the more memorable ones. I mean, there are so many in Volume 1, but I really do like Brothers Grimm. We see them later as members of the Night Shift, and they ended up tackling Cosmic Spidey in Acts of Vengeance. So I have fond memories of them, in the early 90s, and so seeing them basically in their inception here got me really excited. So this issue, it was long, so I agree with you there, but it was just the joy of seeing these characters unfold. So that kind of...
After the 90s, did you ever see them again until they showed back up in Justice comic?
No, I think it was Carla Pacheco just added them in. Yeah, that was the last time. I haven't been looking for them, I guess, admittedly, but but yeah, I think they just dropped off. But
I'm just thinking of how to use them in her comic.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, they're so cool because they're like fairy tale and magic, and you just don't know how they do it. Is it tech or is it actually magic? That sort of stuff. And we'll get into. We'll get into it in later issues as to what the hell is happening here. But Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, I enjoyed a lot of this. Um, First thing, want to point out because we did touch upon it at the beginning, Michele Wolfman's colors, and with Seren because we've got some of the pages up here.
Yes.
She does a. I mean, I've never actually heard of her doing colors, and she's done a fine job.
Yeah, I truly didn't know she actually did any of this, and I'm assuming she's related to Marv
I'm
somehow.
assuming, yeah. I mean, what are
So
the chances? Like, you get two.
yeah, but like the colors here are really good, and I don't recall like you usually know who your colorists and artists are as you through the years, and she's not one I hear talked about often, which is unfortunate
Yeah,
because these are really good colors, guys.
yeah, really good.
And colors can make or break an issue. They really can. Like colorist jobs, I think colorist artists in general don't get a lot of love,
Mm.
but I feel like colorists get even less love than line artists do
Yeah, right.
because
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
you can have some crappy line artists, no offense to, the ones I don't like, you know who I don't like, guys.
Mhm.
But a good really excellent colorist can come in and like make that line work look so much
Absolutely.
like, or in the case of like when we had Para and why can I not remember the colorist name of the recent Spider Woman run? Oh my god.
So the colorist on the spot.
On Pacheco's Spider Woman run. Who was that?
Oh
Oh my
my god,
god.
I'm blanking.
Because he was really good. Because he and
It's not Matt.
he and Para
It's not Matt
together.
Hollingsworth, is it? No.
No, it wasn't Matt Hollingworth.
Oh gosh.
Jesus Christ, guys! I fail. I'm so mad
Oh,
at myself right now.
didn't he go on? We're talking about him going on holidays. Is it Frank D'Armata?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Frank. Yeah. Frank D.
D'Armata.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
Frank D'Armata.
Yeah, he's good.
He's very good, and like him and like Para together create freaking magic. So I feel like I don't know, you get a really good colorist with a really good line artist, and it's just freaking spectacular.
Mhm.
But then you can also have a colorist come in and, in my opinion anyway, take an artist you may not like all that much, and then improve the work.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Because art can make or break a comic. 'Cause there have been times where
Oh, true.
I will look in a comic and I'm like, nope, not reading it, not for me.
I mean, there's only so much. Like, if it's a massively, fantastically well written story that can kind of carry an
Yes,
issue,
that's
but
true. Yes, it
but
can.
I mean, it is a visual medium, so the artwork
I'll agree with that.
does. Yeah, I mean, but it would have to be really, really good. But an artwork definitely does augment. So if you have a solid story, it
Right.
becomes a really enjoyable, fun story, with the artwork.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely,
Yep.
I agree as well. They can make or break. Um,
Hug your colorist, guys.
Love your colorists, and again, Jess is looking so vibrant here. I think with her, just the yellow, her costume, her classic costume is always very striking. I do like if you're looking at the colors of the brother Grimm, I do like their costumes as well. A little bit
Yes.
more subdued. They've got the big kind of Doctor Strange collars, but the scary mask as well. So yeah, so a lot of vibrant colors, and then Wolfman uses.
For some reason, I guess because of that high collar, I thought they had capes, but they don't.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah. It's just like a leotard with thigh-high boots, it seems. And
Yeah, or just
yeah,
like yeah. I literally thought they had a cape, and now I'm looking at this artwork and I'm going, oh shit, he doesn't have a cape like my brain registered
Yeah.
cape because of the cowl he had going on, or the whatever you want to call it he had going on. I'm like, oh shit, he actually doesn't have a cape.
Yeah, I love their. I mean, if it were just to zero in on the Brother Grimm character in particular, I love they have like a floating cloud which he uses to fly around in. They've got.
It's very polluted looking.
Yeah, it is. It does. It's like more like smog. But like an arsenal, like he's throwing like bombs, and he's got all these little tricks that.
It's like almost like he kind of reminds me of like a hobgoblin wannabe in that one picture.
Yeah, I'd agree
a little bit
as well. I mean, look, I'm sorry for the flicking all the way back here, but if we go all the way back to the beginning, just because we're introduced to him kind of ruining a play, right? And so it's all
right.
smoke and mirrors. But yeah, it looks like he mostly has. Well, he's got some weirdo dehydration bomb as well. So mysterious.
Makes me thirsty looking at it.
Bit of a mysterious character. And has all like a sonic thing at the very beginning. There's a grating disharmony, it's called, a loud, raucous, ear-splitting whine, and you can only assume that that's from Brother Grimm as well.
Probably sounds like nails on a chalkboard or something.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I kind of dig this this kind of mysterious character. Kind of shoots. It looks like smoke from his finger as well. Yeah. So nothing's really defined. You just know that you can do some really weird stuff.
And he's got a crack in his helmet.
He does. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't notice that until just when we were kind of flicking through here. There's a constant break in the helmet there. I wonder. Look, I'm going to go further on because we know. Look, no spoilers. No spoilers. There are two of them, as we said. I wonder if the one that reappears that, has a crack on it. Oh, it does as well. Oh, they both have cracks in their heads. Okay.
It's just like, and it's just going the same way. It's not like a different.
No, it's very. I thought maybe that was like a little telltale of who's who, a little clue, but nope, they both have it. I didn't notice that actually before. I just.
Sometimes I notice weird shit. I can't remember anything, but I'll notice weird shit.
Speaking of weird shit, Seren, shall we? One of the main, I guess, cruxes of this, apart from the Brothers Grimm, is Priscilla Dolly. The mum. So what we?
She's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like her. Anyone who has a room full of dolls like that, they ain't right.
They ain't right. Let me see if I can find it. So yeah, she's early on, and she has two sons, of course. Where is? Oh, here. Oh, yeah. So there's a little bit of a shot. It's again fortuitous or coincidental that Jess and Magnus are boarding at this place. She happens to be kind of connected to Brothers Grimm, but yeah, she's looking a bit off. By way of very old-fashioned, antique-looking living room, the way it's furnished, but she has.
Yeah, and the dolls are sitting like on the sofa, like they're guests in the house. It's creepy, guys. And have you ever seen like those like Zillow like ads with like the houses where like you go in and like their rooms are full of like Mickey Mouse or dolls or clowns? Yeah. Those houses are haunted. Don't buy them. This house is haunted. You don't live there. Jess has not learned this yet.
And it's kind of hard to talk about Seren in the way, just because like you and I we know like this story, and because I wanted to ask about, is this a cue? Priscilla, would she have raised some flags back in the day if you're reading it, or would she just be seen as an eccentric? I mean, look.
It would have raised my flags back in the day because that's the feeling. Anyone who like, I don't know about anyone else, but if you go into any like old person's house and they've got a room full of dolls, you immediately are on ease.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least I am. I don't know about anyone else, but like,
don't
no.
Exactly. If you've seen Chucky, if you know, you know. But
yeah, I'm creepy about dolls.
Yeah, but
I mean, if it was Barbie dolls, that's slightly less creepy to me than like porcelain dolls, because porcelain dolls.
Oh, have you watched Penny Dreadful, Seren?
No.
You'd be freaked out then. I think it's in the second season.
Yeah, I don't like to be freaked out.
Porcelain dolls are plenty. No. Yeah, and they're all kind of
Nope. That's a big nope. Nope. I am noping. I am gone.
But I guess what I wanted to also mention about Priscilla and Dolly, just the kind of style of writing as well, Seren, because I found interesting and what you maybe potentially wouldn't get these days is this added layer of having that Senator Wyatt in it. It's not a straight Jess versus Brothers Grimm. You have Wyatt who pays this ransom, but he actually double crosses Brothers Grimm, so there's a whole other dynamic to the story as well. And then you have
and really the only reason Jess gets involved is because of the dual connection to Wyatt.
Yes,
that's the only reason she gets involved, because I feel like she would not have gotten involved as quickly if Wyatt wasn't involved at all.
True. True. No, absolutely. So just a bit. Yeah, I know it's a bit strange. Maybe it just added a bit more flair to the story. I wasn't particularly interested in Senator Wyatt, but he for storytelling wise, I guess, as you mentioned, he had a
He's the
purpose. Yeah, he
catalyst.
had. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was definitely there. I enjoyed the action scenes, of course.
Yeah, they're always good. Carmine Infantino is just an amazing artist anyway, so he
Yeah,
does really good stuff.
yeah, and just being able to use it. Funnily enough, here though, speaking of colors, Jess does use her Venom Blast.
It's magenta
That's
though.
magenta. Yeah, that's a bit strange.
I'm gonna chalk this up to new colorist. A very good colorist though. And also early in the work, Churchill's trying to maybe like there's some experimentation going. I actually don't mind the magenta, but I think the green suits just
I think the green's a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it at all. Just an observation that and I can understand.
Good catch. I didn't even notice that until you started saying something.
But yeah, you're right. They could have just been playing around before they ended up. She has. It's almost like you see sometimes as well. It's kind of yellow as well. Sometimes her Venom Blast.
Yeah, I've seen. It's like a neon green, so it can kind of get to that yellow tinge to it. I've also seen it. It's blue, like actual like lightning blue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But actually, it's been mostly consistent since I think Bendis took it over. That's when it's been most consistent with the green, like the venomy acid, like green. That makes really. I think that makes a lot of sense.
No, definitely, and I prefer the green. And again, just color wise, with a red and yellow suit and the black hair and the green, just nice point of difference. We also see a lot of Jess's powers here, like her strength as well. She can easily overcome the Brothers Grimm if they aren't, chucking things at her like table lamps and such.
Yeah. So one looks like he has like magical powers, and the other one's all like gadgets and weird gizmos.
Oh, that's a good observation.
Right?
I just had always.
Am I right?
I don't know. I just always assumed that they're both. They both do like magic-y.
I could be wrong, but that's the impression I'm getting. When we get to the next issue, that will probably cement it a little bit more.
They definitely have different like personalities. So I think.
Oh yeah, that you can see because one's very goofy.
Yes. Yeah, so I think Wolfman does well to distinguish that. And again, while you're reading it for the first time back in the day, it'd be like, oh, okay, and it is a clue as to there are two separate people, and it makes sense. The brothers Grimm were writers, German writers of fairy tales. Fairy tales, of course. Originated all over the world and were kind of morphed and changed.
The Grimm, they're fairy tales, but they're freaking horrifying.
They're scary and they're pretty dark as well.
Oh, these are for children. You're letting your kids read that? Okay.
Yeah. So another telltale as well. Another little clue is Priscilla's sons. What they call again? Willem and Jacob. Is that right? Which I think they are the names of. I could be wrong. I'm assuming they're the actual names of the Brothers Grimm, like the authors. So.
Oh, are they?
So I think so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I think that's a little reference at least to the Brothers Grimm. Seren, the switch as well of pace here. We're learning more about. Spider Woman's trying to chase her father as well, which is another aspect of this issue. I was more kind of enamored, I guess, with the Brothers Grimm side of things with that for you. But what were your thoughts on her?
I don't like Magnus.
You don't like?
Creepy old man. I don't.
Yeah.
Creepy old man vibes. I think Jess was right to call him out a bit, even if he denies everything. And this might be what I know of the series talking, but also me just being biased because I don't like the guy and I like Jess. But I feel like Jess is quick to anger, which makes sense considering, her life so far. Jess is very angry. As we all know, Jess is a very angry person.
Yeah.
But also I don't think she's necessarily wrong to call him out for using her.
Sorry, using what?
For using her. Like she's calling him out for using her. And he denies it, but let's keep reading.
I mean, in the whole scheme of things, I found him a bit of an odd character. He kind of just fades out, doesn't he? And do you know?
Yeah, he kind of.
Have you seen him?
Goes away, I think.
Okay, but have you are you aware of him in any modern like comics or no?
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure he popped up like somewhere, like in a one shot
Oh,
somewhere
okay.
or something, I think.
Yeah, I
But
think he
no, he's
pretty much came and went by the early issues of Spider-Woman. And
hmm
yeah, I can't say I miss him. It was just yeah, you're right. It's just a bit weird.
he comes back in Jess's in the Avengers when they bring Jess back, he'll come back for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Then after that, you don't see him
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Okay.
At least as far as I know. If I'm wrong, if someone else sees him somewhere else in a book, because Lord knows I haven't read everything. I tend to fixate on one character, and that's all who I read.
What was his point? What was if I could just ask Magnus?
I don't.
Just as
I
just
don't
something to
know.
play off. I don't.
He's just a creepy old man.
Yeah. So it's just something.
Just a creepy old man.
Yeah. Weird. Anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I'm not too interested like in that. Like, he was kind of more interesting, I think, last issue, like issue 2, when it's kind of within
Yeah.
the realm of Morgan Le Fay and kind of
Yeah.
magic, that sort of thing. When he's now in modern day, like when I come modern day 70s, yeah, he just seems a bit of like a fish out of water, and I don't see him as that necessary. But anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah. So we get a little bit on. I mean, you mentioned it in the synopsis about pyrotechnics, um, and she learns about her father
I
being
don't think we
killed.
actually get to pyrotechnics until later. So this is actually that detail is something obviously that's kind of overwritten in the Brian Bendis run we just discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So in that run, she thought he was dead, but he wasn't. Here he is very truly
Oh
dead.
yes, she's
So
literally kneeling at his gravestone. But yeah,
I feel like these parts are kind of like retcon
yeah,
dish
yeah. But
by Bendis later.
yeah. But I mean, so this is definitely, I mean, a setup to at least an ongoing adventure with. So I'm just flicking through here towards the end. I mean, we do get sidetracked with the further issues, but the brothers Grimm are certainly on the loose, so to speak. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
learn more about them later. I'm kind of really holding myself back here, Sarah, not to reveal too much because waiting for those issues to come about for us to chat about what happens to them and their basically their kind of origin, which is very kind of horror-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
They're kind of
Very
creepy.
creepy.
And their mother's freaking creepy,
Yeah.
man. It's just all creepy. It's all creepy. We are getting into the horror thing, so you're going to see me getting freaked out because this shit bothers me and it disturbs me. And even if it's not like when we get to the wax man,
Oh yeah.
nope, nope,
um,
nope.
but yeah, no, I enjoy this at the moment though. Like nothing is really kind of given. Nothing
Oh
is
yeah,
given away. Like for all intents, these guys are just there's just a couple of loony villains running around. And
yeah. And obviously, the heavy foreshadowing of who they are is in this. It's a
yes,
lot of setup. This issue.
yeah. But I don't know, Sarah. Anything else that you want to mention about this issue?
No, I didn't realize the Hangman was the next issue, so I thought that was the return of the Hangman, and I can't remember when we dealt with Hangman the last
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it definitely has a volume 1 definitely has like a villain of the week vibe, like with
oh yeah,
Wolfman's.
definitely.
Yeah, at least Wolfman's arc that he does in the first few, and then Grunwald takes over. He even still continues that kind of monster of the week thing or villain of the week. But yeah, I can't remember the Hangman either. Seren return of that.
It's just a
I
return
mean,
of the
we're only up to
Hangman.
issue 3.
So,
I mean, where
right.
was it?
So was Hangman. So now we'll have to look, and again, we have listeners that may know more than
Yeah.
us. So, please correct us if the Hangman pop ups in some other
I mean, we did.
issue of some other
We've
comic.
done the lead up. I mean, hopefully we've done the lead up from Marvel Spotlight of Jess's appearance.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe unless it was
He must be coming in from another comic.
he must have been coming.
Who were the other? Do we know who the other West Coast heroes were at this time?
In the 70s. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Was Daredevil one yet, or was he still in New
no,
York?
definitely not.
No, he didn't. He didn't go to San Francisco until Chris Somney
Yeah.
and
like the West Coast
took over. Right?
Avengers are basically like Mockingbird, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Wonder Man.
Right, but I think this takes place a little bit
Before
before
that,
that.
yeah.
So maybe they are all on the West Coast,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, because I know the West Coast series definitely didn't start in this. Like, definitely didn't start in the 70s. I thought it started in the 80s. So you're right. I mean,
It did.
yeah, but like whether or not there was mention, of heroes going over to the West Coast before the actual title started, would have to read Avengers and all that to understand what kind of happens.
Yeah, because I think by the end of this series, we definitely have Tigra,
Mhm.
who was an Avenger over
Yeah.
here, and then there's the Shroud,
The Shroud, yeah.
and like Lindsay, but the superhero. I think really just Tigra and the Shroud
Yeah, that sounds about.
by the end of that.
Yeah, that's about right because we only get the little bit of Claremont's X-Men in there, which their own thing. So yeah,
Right.
yeah, and the Shroud was even like he
Right.
was never really part of the West Coast. They wanted to recruit him, but he was kind of hanging around. Like I remember reading the West Coast
Right.
issues, and he's kind of like because there was an issue with Moon Knight, and he's saying, "Oh, do you want to be part of this?" He's like, "Oh no, I want to standoffish," because he's very much.
Was Moon Knight a West Coast
Yes,
Avenger?
yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
know that. I missed
And
that. I missed that detail. Interesting.
early to mid 80s, he was there. Yeah, but yeah, interesting. We'll have to do some digging about Hangman. Out of 5 polluted clouds.
I'll give it a 4.
So yeah, you'll give it a 4.
Flying clouds like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Flying small
Yep.
clouds. I would give it a 4 because it's clearly a setup issue.
Yep. Oh, I would agree as well. I'll give it a 4 as well. I mean, I really did enjoy it, and I must.
No, I did too. It was
Yeah, and
fun.
I did really enjoy the art. I mean, there were some, as you mentioned, did seem a bit long. There were areas that dragged a bit, like areas that I was a lot more interested in than others. But just having
Yeah.
Brothers Grimm there and introducing Priscilla Dolly and starting that kind of horror vibe is really cool. I just can't wait until we get. I know, Seren, it's not your fave, but I can't wait to get into those issues where we do take a turn and things go dark as well. Even Gypsy Moth is not horror, but like it's around that she's around there as well. I think in the early portion.
Yeah,
So,
is she the early portion? I thought she was later.
Okay, well she comes back later as well.
She's definitely in the. She shows up in the psychology arc with Lindsay, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's one. I just remember there's a cover where I think it's Spider-Woman. She's falling from the building or something. And I think there's Gypsy Moth in the background. I could be misremembering, but
yeah. She's called Skyne these days.
Yeah. We do have some. Let me just get rid of that. We do have some feedback
and some discussions on this arc from others. I have not read them, so I'm going to have you read them. I know we had them.
Yeah, no worries. We
Sorry, guys. I'm a slacker.
No, not at all. So I threw up the discussion thread. I didn't throw up, but I posted up the discussion thread a while ago, just before to get things rolling. And on Instagram, we've got 2 short comments. One from Spectre_876. Hello, Spectre. And they say, a great series. The Brothers Grimm had a great look. I totally agree as well. I love their look. Anything kind of skull-like, but the red and blue kind of really works for me. And is
it blue? I thought it looked more black. I guess it's like navy.
Yeah, navy. Yeah, blue, black. But even the dorky collar, just a nice point of difference for them.
Yeah, and I truly I would see the collar and I'd assume cape, and they really don't have any capes.
I think you're probably remembering right that someone must have put a cape on them. I'm sure. We'll have to,
probably later.
Also, Carlos, thank you so much for writing in. Carlos said, big enemies and a big podcast. Certainly is, Carlos. These guys are big enemies. Already my kind of love for them. So we'll be seeing them again. Don't you worry. Seren, a couple of others from Twitter. And I'm going to see if I can put this up on screen. We got the first one from Jess D. Hello, Jess. And she says, this panel says it all, really. And let me see if I can share this one up there. One moment. Let's get that one gone. Let me see.
Also, just I saw all your notes, but the one that stuck out to me is who would outdrink who, Jessica Drew or Jessica Jones? And the answer is Jessica Drew would outdrink Jessica Jones. No argument, no contest. Jones would put up a hell of a fight, but Jessica Drew cannot get drunk.
She can't get drunk.
Until it's proven to me that she cannot.
Yeah, it's true.
I like that one. That's a great one.
Well, she's toxin, isn't she? Right, like she gets immune to toxins. So
Yeah.
she's probably had the one drink and then hasn't tried a vodka. Has
I think
that?
there's one. There's one. I think it's the Turner D Century issue where Jess goes into the bar and she's like, "I'll have like a whole bottle or something of like their strongest whiskey." And like she doesn't even like get drunk and she just walks out straight.
Well, yeah, I mean that's testament to again one of her powers that kind of gets overlooked at times as well. But makes sense because you know how her powers originated too. But yeah, so he's Jess has posted up an image of Brothers Grimm. Aha! Good day, you petty little cretins. I love it. I love those sorts of sayings.
That is like a very memeable panel.
Yes.
And I feel like that should be used as I need to save that actually. I need to link to that because I don't want to go digging. I'm lazy. I'll find it. Yeah. But I need to save that because that is an excellent reaction panel to anything.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I'm just going to quickly, if that works for you there, put that in there.
That does. I agree 100%. That's an excellent panel and sums it up quite nicely. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. And
hilarious.
We just have, I just responded to Jess there as well, but also to Yancey, from Yancey, sorry, at Year of the Loser. And Yancey says, the way the Brothers Grimm arc ended shocked the hell out of me. And he's got the emoji with the big eyes just looking shocked. I couldn't agree more. I responded saying straight out of a horror movie. I can't wait. I can't wait to get up to it because it's just so freaky.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Yancey, for that.
You have Yancey. You have validated
yes,
Ray.
I feel validated.
Thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, so no, thanks everyone for dropping in a line. It's not too late, of course, as well. I mean, this is a cool issue. Just getting your thoughts on Brothers Grimm in general, or Priscilla, if you can stomach it.
She's the creepiest one of them all.
Yeah, she is. She's the progenitor. Is that the right word?
I think I don't even think I think she shows up later, doesn't she? Like we deal with the Brothers Grimm and then we deal with her later, right?
I think so. That's when the whole kind of reveal is done. I think.
Yeah, it's so creepy, guys. Oh,
it is very creepy. But yes, so yeah, I recommended 4 out of 5 for both Seren and myself. Definitely worth checking out. Seren.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That kind of wraps us. Before we go, though, I just wanted to give a shout out again to our patrons, our spider patrons. So Miriam, Rustin, Eric, Jess, and Rick. A huge thank you for all your contributions.
Hey, we love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just helps us with the show. It's great. We can do stuff like the Tea Public and give away some prizes and that sort of stuff. So really appreciate it and keep the lights on. But next episode, Seren.
I love our Tea Public because I have half the merchandise for myself.
I'm going to have to get a hoodie as well when it starts getting a bit chilly here. But yeah, absolutely. It started raining here, so if anyone heard apologies for any audio. I think it just started bucketing down, but I think it stopped.
I cannot hear it, so
good.
I have a pretty good headset. So.
Seren, I'm going to put this on to you because we haven't really discussed it yet. But next episode, what have we got for our listeners?
I can't remember. I'm assuming number 4 of this series. I don't remember. Are we supposed to be reading something else?
Well,
my brain is mush, guys. I can't remember shit anymore.
No worries. No, we were going to bounce to another modern issue. Like we'll alternate.
Oh, yeah.
But we've run out of Origin because we've finished that, which is great.
Right. Who are we jumping into?
Well, Jess, our valued Patreon member, she suggested something as well. I think she suggested New Avengers, or
Yes.
I mean, we've got it also tee up
Yes.
Secret Invasion somehow too as well. But
Well, that'll bleed into it.
Yep.
So if we do New Avengers, so you guys get to hear some of our planning. If we do New
Yes.
Avengers, that will bleed into Secret
Oh,
Invasion.
perfect.
So yes.
So
let's do
So we're going to
it.
do the Bendis New Avengers. Yes.
Thank you. I completely forgot
Yeah.
what we wanted
No,
to do because we're going chronological.
Yes.
I forgot.
But I will check, Jess. Sorry if that wasn't what you suggested. Sorry, I will double check. I've just got that down here. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, New Avengers is good, and I have that somewhere. I have actually that in some. I think no, I only have the hardcover, and when it gets to Secret Invasion, it gets a little wonky because it starts crossing over between New Avengers and his Avengers run, and there's a lot of bleed there. So we're gonna be hip hopping back and forth because there'll be a very Just-centric issue in New Avengers, and then the next Just-centric issue is the next regular Avengers. It's very confusing.
Right.
But yes.
Cool. Well, we're gonna rip into that as well as in the following.
Oh, you know what? We should also get into giant-sized Spider-Woman.
Yes.
At some point.
That's got Bendis. That has a Bendis thing in there as well.
Yeah, it's also got, I think, the Fiona Staples one-shot. And there's also a She-Hulk Sensational that kind of takes place before Avengers and New Avengers, I believe, because Jess, or right around that time. It's like kind of so we'll have to finagle the timeline of New Avengers to see where those two fit in. And there's also a one shot with written by the art is Fiona, I can't remember her last name, but she draws Jess, and it's a one shot. I think that might be in Giant Size Spider-Woman. It's very good. And it's a one shot with Jess in San Francisco. So
So
kind of
let's dig that up and.
Right, Jess in LA. It's Jess in LA. It even takes place before she goes to San Francisco.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But it was written in like 10 or 15 years ago. It's really good.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll definitely have that and put that on the cards.
Fiona Staples.
Is it? Yeah. Well, Spider Babies, please just keep an eye out on all our platforms, and we will announce it. We'll post up a discussion thread as well with the next upcoming issue that we'll be looking at. But yeah, I might even post up issue 4 for volume 1 for the subsequent episode after that as well, just to kind of get things rolling. But yeah, sounds good. Totally up for it.
Excited, lots of stuff to do. Buy our merch
as well. Any other final thoughts, Seren, apart from TeePublic, for our Spider Baby listeners?
No, we don't, guys. Like, really, the merch is just a little bit. I really, it's really nice stuff. I didn't realize TeePublic had some. I thought it was all like decent, but it's actually like the shirt that I have is very soft, and I like it a lot. And I was like very pleasantly surprised by the very soft shirt. And I was like, they make good stuff, and like I knew it was like decent stuff. Don't get me wrong. But like when I got this shirt and this hoodie, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I mean, you're right, and you upgraded.
I'm sorry, and I don't mean to make you feel ashamed or anything.
No. But yeah, you upgraded as well, and so that's good as well. So for a little bit more, you can get some really
super
good
soft t-shirt that I'll live in.
Oh yeah, is it still cold over there? Probably is, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we had over here. Well, where I was, it was very funny because we had a killer cold snap last week, and my state avoided it.
Oh, cool, good, good.
But the rest of the Northeast of the U.S. did not.
Yes, bugger. But well, hopefully things are slowly turning around the corner. It doesn't get too cold. What are we? February now, so it's the last month for us for summer, so it's still pretty warm here. But yeah, we'll be getting the autumn weather soon. So,
and we'll be going right into spring, and it'll be nice and muddy and rainy. So we're both getting into our rainy seasons.
Yes. Blah. But get your merch. No, it's just,
Yep, get your
we'll
merch.
get, yeah.
Rep our podcast. We're going into Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes. Yes.
So
That'll be.
Wear that merch so people, when they see Issa Rae's Jessica Drew on the big screen, they come to listen to us, because we are definitely going to be talking about that.
We will cover it. Yep. Hopefully we can, we can do it justice as well. I'm sure it's going to be a great film.
I'm so excited.
Me too. With that, Spider Babies,
right,
we got to head out of here. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, Seren.
To know her is to fear her.
Perfect. Catch you later.
If you'd like to contact us with your thoughts on Spider-Woman and her amazing series, you can drop us a line at spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Spider-Woman Pod or To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. Catch us on Twitter at Spider-Woman Daily or on Discord, Tumblr, and Podchaser. Look for all our links to our social platforms in the show notes.
We are also proud members of The Collective, a supergroup of podcasters dedicated to covering all the characters and news in comics and beyond. Search for #TheCollectiveNet on Twitter to see the latest on all the shows, or click on the link provided in our episodes to give you a list of who's part of The Collective. Finally, please consider giving us a rating on either Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Whether it be to sing your praises or give us pointers on how to improve the show, any ratings will help cast our web further and potentially reach out to more spider babies out there.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episode, but until then, remember, to know her is to fear her.
Spider-Woman and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Material used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only, under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.